Hello and thank you very much for joining me. I'm Dean the Vaping Biker, and today we've got another vlog. Hopefully it's going to be reasonably sharpish. Whether it's as quick as last week or not, I don't know, but we'll see how we get on. I've also EQ'd the mic so it's completely flat on here, so it just does need a little bit of jiggery pokery once I get it into Final Cut Pro, which I use to edit everything, and we'll see how we get on. Apologies if you hear a bit of a sort of a raspy kind of breath. I've got a cough going on as well as another cold. Yay! Having no immune system does that to a man, so that's splendid. Really happy about that one. Anyway, let's crack on, shall we? Cheers to you. Happy Christmas. I mean that ironically. I hate the Christmas thing. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? What we've been up to this week, or the last week at least, I did try and get out a video a day, and this was important to me for two reasons. One, I figured that I've been really rubbish on keeping my content nice and regular recently, so I wanted to really push that forward. But two, I've still got quite a bit in my review queue that I really need to power on through, so fingers crossed this coming week is going to be pretty much the same. I know I've got to go out tomorrow for a doctor's thing, and I think it's next week. I don't think it's Friday this week. I think it's next week I've got to go and have another injection in the spine, so that'll be fun and knock me out. But apart from those 2 days, which are a little bit ropey, not saying they're out, but ropey, I'm planning on trying to get another video a day going. So fingers crossed that's how we get going. Once I can get up to speed with the review queue and everything's up to date, that'll mean that I can then do some more tutorials and all that sort of good stuff. And I can have a normal kind of review cycle going through with the rest of the products. So everybody wins. Plus, it's a crap ton of stuff in these dark evenings that you can watch if you're really, really bored. So yeah, that's the plan. Anyway, so let's have a little look. So first of all, we had the vlog that was on Monday. Then after Monday, we had the M-Vapes mini mechanical squonker, which is absolutely cracking. And I've just realised that, Matt, I've not sent you back the original one. I'm sorry. I will get that in the post ASAP. But no. So we reviewed the little mini mechanical, which I still think is absolutely superb. It's brilliant. It's simple. It's nice and small. It holds 15 ml of e-liquid. Squonks as you would expect, and it's a mech, so the type of vape you're going to get off it is going to be relevant to your battery, to your build, and to your atomizer, which I like a lot. I do love the simplicity of a mech. I still do, and I always will, I think. But yeah, so that happened. Then after that, we had the Asmodus Innokin V2, which I did say that I like a lot, and I do. It's not perfect, but I do like it. I think it has a lot going for it. It really, really does. The main thing of which is battery life. So if you're going to use this in sort of straightforward power mode, then the battery life really is just spectacular. It really is good for, especially for a mod that's this small. I mean, if I pop a battery next to it, you can see that we're really not that much larger than than 18650 in height. Maybe another 10 mil or something. So I think that's absolutely superb. So I was really happy to get that. It got the shit tested out of it. It really, really did. So I tested it for a long, long time. Then after that, we looked at the Cleto 120. Now, this happened with both the regular stock coils and the rebuildable deck. And I maintain that I think it's a fantastic tank. It works really, really well. Sure, it's not really required that we have a tank that goes to 120 watts, I don't think. But the fact that you've got it there gives you that choice if you are a high wattage vapor, and I think that works really, really well. Plus it's really good if you want the old cloudage and all that sort of good jazz as well. Now after that, we had the Lynx RDA. Excuse me for a second. Thank you. We had the Lynx RDA from Digiflavor, which was a bit of a funny one. There's a few comments on the video, or on the comment section of the video, saying that the deck looks cheap and all this sort of stuff. I mean, I don't think it's not the sort of the classiest, most well made, high material thing in the world, but then again, the price reflects that. I think it was around 40 quid, wasn't it? Something along those lines. it does work well, and I maintain everything that I said in the review on that one. So yeah, definitely worth a look if that's the sort of thing that floats your boat. So go back and have a check out of those videos if you so wish. What I might do is, I don't know if you've noticed, the end screens of each video have now changed slightly, thanks to a little bit of work that YouTube have done. So it's nice and easy to click on the videos that I put on there. What I might do at the end of vlogs now is put up each one of my videos that have been in that previous week. So it's a nice easy way of going back and clicking on them if you so wish. Should I do that? I don't know. While we're on the YouTube subject, by the way, I also put a squonking section in my playlists. Now, someone did ask about that recently. Can't remember your name, terribly sorry. But it was something that I've been thinking about doing, and I've wanted to sort of generate enough products to make that playlist kind of worthwhile. And I think we're pretty much there now, and it seems to be growing. We're getting more and more all the time that are squonk friendly, which is awesome. So I'm very happy with that. So everyone's a winner. Anyway, still got sort of a squeaky, noisy chair, which I think this mic may be picking up a little bit more. I've tried to get it out of shot a little bit more now. I think we're out of shot. Fingers crossed. Anyway, apologies to people that keep complaining about the sound. I am trying to get it as spot on as I can. I think the last video I did, was pretty reasonable. On the links, I think the sound was pretty reasonable, but I do believe a couple of people mentioned that it was still too bassy. So yeah, I mean, I think that was as close to a very clean, natural voice as I've had it yet. But we'll see how we get on. I've done a little bit of mucking about today as well, so fingers crossed when we do the final mix on the final video, then that'll be all good. But like I've said before, it's a little bit of a pain in the bum, because by the time you upload it to YouTube then compress it and do all sorts of funny things as well. So it's just a little bit awkward to get it all absolutely spot on. So thank you for your patience if you are someone that is not happy about my sound. Got wind, excuse me. Didn't mean a little bit of that belch to come out then. Forgot where I was. The hair, still growing. Need a haircut again. Alan, if you're watching this, shout out goes to Alan. I'm going to do some shout outs at the end, but shout out to Alan. Hope you're feeling better, mate. You are, I believe you're still in hospital and still being looked after by nurses such as Lorraine. So if you are still there, I do hope you're recovering quickly, my friend. It sounds quite rough. Anyway, moving forward, let's go on. I've turned the volume off on the phone, but I've still got the screen on, which is a bit of a nightmare because it keeps putting me off things. Right, let's see if we can bin that. Right. Let's go to my notes, shall we? Let's have a little look, see where we're at. Oh, God. I'm really kind of all over the place. I know this is kind of what you expect, and some people may just be expecting me to be more professional, but I'm not. I'm sorry. That's what the reviews are for. I try and make the reviews professional. This is just me and you chatting. Right, so what have I been vaping on? When I've not been using the test, or the stuff that I've testing, or been in test, I can't talk. The stuff that I've been testing. Haha. When I've not been using that, let's have a little look. I've done a couple of little funky little projects this week. This is my NX75. It's got finger marks and all sorts of muck all over it. And I reviewed this ages ago, and this was the black one. But I think because a lot of e-liquid was dribbling down it, and it sat for ages, and I didn't keep on top of cleaning it, the paintwork started being a bit rubbish. So I thought, well, I'll just sand it all off. So I stripped it apart, took it all apart and sanded it, and so now it's just kind of a sort of a stainless little NX75 from Aspire, and it's great. I really do like it. The atomizer on top is the Hadaly. I'm pretty sure I commented and told you guys about having one of these on the last vlog, and I am testing the crap out of this, as well as a whole bunch of different caps that I've got for it as well. So yeah, this is going great guns. This is the acrylic cap going on here at the moment. I think I might polish this up, so rather than being misty, it's kind of nice and clear and what have you. But yeah, anyway, let's have a little vape. The flavour on it really, really is spectacular. Spectacular. I've got a single coil in there, Clapton going on, flattened Clapton. I did flatten it just because surface area, and it's working out really, really nicely. think I can totally see why this has got the kind of hype that it has. And I think I mentioned that before, but I really, really can. Now, on top of that, I've also been vaping. Look at this little setup here, look. This is the No Legal from No Pity. Sorry, from No Name Mods. No Pity was the last RDA that I reviewed from those guys. Now, the No Name, which was this one, was quite a bit taller, you can see there. And especially with the cloud cap, it meant that you did lose quite a lot of the flavour. However, what they've done with this No Legal is they've shortened it. They've shortened it considerably. And this is the regular cap on it, and it looks, I think it looks pretty funky with these holes going on at the top here. Very metal. But I have also got the cloud cap for this also. And I've got to say, the flavour of this is pretty damn good as well. Now, what I've got going on there with the regular cap is a very, very restricted lung hit. And I've been really, really enjoying it. It's been a nice little way. I've got it on this little Watofo Serpent 50 watt. Is this 50 watt, 40 watt, 50 watt? Can't remember. Whatever this little Watofo is anyway. And 33.3 watts. It's been a great little vaping experience. It really has. Now then. Excuse me. Now, both the Hadaly and the No Legal are both squonk adaptable and come with squonk pins. So I am squonking these as well as doing them in regular mode as well. So that's been happening. Now, on top of that, I have been using the Rashomon. I told everyone about this 2-3 weeks ago. I think it was 3 weeks ago I unboxed it, and that was in a vlog as well. And we've been having a damn good vape with this. In fact, they sent me 2, and I've been using 2. The other one was on this Tesla thing. And the reason I've not reviewed this yet, by the way, is I've still not been able to update it, because they said that the Mac update thing was happening soon. But as far as I know, it's still not happened. So I've not been able to update it. So if I review it now, it's without the right firmware, which is kind of pointless for you guys. Anyway, let's move on from that. But this one is, I've been squonking on this one and having a jolly good time. Once again, you've got no adjustment to the airflow. So much like your Kennedys, much like Tsunami. Is that non-adjustable? Can't remember. I never had a Tsunami. But yeah, much like the Kennedy and all that sort of stuff. In fact, let's give it a little. This is the regular Kennedy. This isn't the I don't think this is the competition one anyway. Let's have a little look here. Da 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 da. Oh no, this is a competition one with a whole bunch of holes in it, with 4 holes in it. Now then. I think the Rashomon is very similar airflow to the competition 22mm Kennedy, which is nice. So you've got bucket loads. Plus, with the Rashomon, you can they do give you a little bung, so you can stop one of the sides, so you can single coil it quite happily. And let's have a little vape on this, shall we? It's a lovely little cloud beast, and you really can wind it up as much as you like. Now, the mod that I've got on here is an interesting one. If you do watch social media, or you look at my social media, then you may have seen it. Or if you watch my website, because I do stick stuff on there. I did a report on this, an article on this yesterday, because this is a mod that I threw. It's not the best. It's not the best, not a professional mod maker, but this is something that I made over the weekend on Saturday, which I'm quite enjoying. I'm rather enjoying. This is a little squonker that I made, and it's a little single 18650, and the box is from Mod Maker, as is the 510 and a whole bunch of bits and bobs. But the button and that front panel there came off an 18650 Cool Fire 4. I stripped that and stuck it in there, and it's a little 75 watts, something like that, squonker now, which I think is marvellous. I did forget about the rather short battery life on the Coolfire 418650, which is a little bit of a bugger, seeing as I'm vaping this at 66.5 watts. So annoying this! So I wasn't watching the camera screen there at all to find out that was it in the 15-minute mark. Anyway, yeah, it's so annoying that, what's so annoying? What was I saying? It was annoying. Yes, 66.6, normally 66.5, because it only goes in 0.5 increments. Oh, it really is. Anyway. Now, the only problem that I've had with this is when I put this together, I thought I was brilliant by using this whole faceplate and all that sort of malarkey, and I made the hole so it kind of was really snug in there. But for extra safety, I thought, I know what I'll do is I'll dab a little bit of glue in the bottom and in the top, and just to make sure it stays in lovely. However, what I didn't realise was how much glue, or how quickly the glue would run down, and I got a little bit in the fire button. So the fire button is currently being worked through to stop it sticking. It just stuck just then, but that's not the it's not the board's fault or anything like that. That's just mine for being a knob. But no, other than that, I'm rather enjoying it. And it just, if you're thinking about making a mod but think, oh, I don't know how, or I haven't got the right tools or whatever else, go over to vapingbiker.co.uk and check out the article that I wrote yesterday, because I made it with a soldering iron, a stepped drill bit, obviously a hand drill, and jewelry files, and that was it. There was no special equipment. There was nothing kind of monstrous going on there, and I think all of that gear you could buy for pennies pretty much. So yeah, go and check it out, because if you're thinking about making something, you can always bastardize another old mod that you don't use anymore and make something funky with it. And that's what I did there, because I wanted another regulated squonker and I didn't have one. So that was that. There we go. Make your own. Get it done. And I put a photo when I did the article. I put a photo of a load of mods that I've already made, because I keep all of them. And I'd forgotten how much fun some of them were. So yeah, the best thing, if you can make one, if you're thinking about it, or even if you're a ham-fisted gorilla like I am, have a go, because it's great fun and it's super easy. And sites like ModMaker have a whole bunch of wiring diagrams and all that sort of good stuff on there as well, so you can, it's dead easy to make, it's dead easy to get the bits for. And once you get kind of into the zone of things, don't start making them for other people unless you're absolutely sure that A, you'll be around to fix them when they break, pardon me, B, they are absolutely spot on safe and the best that can be made. And so if you're ever unsure about that, you know, go onto some of the mod making pages on Facebook and all that sort of stuff and ask people's opinion, because, you know, I have seen some people will make their first mod and then go, right, I'm going to make them for the world. And that's not a good thing to do at all. It takes a while to get your soldering skills right, to get your wire routing right, to get everything done and dusted. It's very, very important. But once you've kind of made that first one for yourself, there's nothing like it. It's absolutely superb. Anyway, I went off kilter a little bit there. Now, what else have we got? What else have we got? I've also been vaping quite a lot on this Mirage Mechanical, which is up for review in this coming week over the next couple of days. And currently in there, I am rocking a parallel 26 gauge stainless 316L, 5.5 wraps over 4mm, I think. This is coming through at around about 0.16, I think, something like that. And it's a rather pleasant vape, it really is. Look at that. It's not bad, is it? Somebody did ask me on one of the comments on one of the videos, I don't even know if it was a recent video or not, because I couldn't find the comment again once I'd kind of clicked off it on my notifications thing, about how you get a ramp up really, really quick. I mean, the ramp up on here isn't bad. If I go from 0 to 1, 2, 3, press, that's a pretty instantaneous ramp up going on there. And that's mainly because of the wire that I'm using and all that sort of stuff. The more wire you put in, the thicker the wire you put in, the longer the ramp up, and that's just the thing. The more metal that's there, the longer it takes to get warm. So it's always that mix of being able to get a nice, quick, easy ramp up, plus enough wick coverage to get you some nice, good old fat clouds. And it works like a beast, it really does. So yeah, this is going to be coming up over the next couple of days, which I'm very much looking forward to. Now then, what else have we got going on? New stuff in new stuff. 5 minutes on there, we're good. Not a great deal to tell you about, like I said. However, because of that, I can spend a little bit of time showing, not really showing. Anyway, let's crack on, shall we? First of all, from Coil Master. These little puppies. So these are coiling rods, ceramic coiling rods. So you got a little tiny one there. That is the 2mm, and they go all the way up to 4mm. And what is a ceramic coiling rod? Well, it's a coiling rod made of ceramic material. No, what it is it's there for once you've got, look at the size of that big beastie. That's the 4mm one. Once you've built your coils, you can build them on here, I guess, if you really want to. But once you've built your coils, you can then transfer them onto here. You can then put it in your RDA or tank or whatever else, and you can fire it while they're already on the the coiling rod. Because it's ceramic, it doesn't conduct heat in the same way, and it won't short everything out. So that's a nice way of doing it, especially if you're using something that's a little bit sensitive. So you're kind of doing a particularly I don't know, let's say quite a thin gauge, something like that, or you know, some coils you make and they tend to go a little bit out of whack when you're trying to squeeze them and put them together. But no, these are a cracking little idea. So I have been using those, which has been nice. Thank you very much to Coil Master for sending those on. They did send a few other bits and bobs as well, which I can't remember. Some of them were coils and all that sort of stuff. A little bit iffy. But no, the coiling rods, very worthwhile little pieces of kit to have in your toolbox, if you like. On top of that, today I got a bunch of stuff in which I was really happy with. One of which is the Ukan 2. Now this is all from Innokin. Now the Ukan one was pretty reasonable. This is a little way of carrying your juice around. There's a little flicky uppy bit there if you want it. But what happens is you unscrew the top. Whoops. Sorry to headphone users. You fill it up there. I think this holds about 20ml of e-liquid, something along those lines. Once you fill that up, you take the very top section off and you've got a little needle there. Now you've got a locking ring at the bottom, and that means that you have a little sort of a pumpy thing. I haven't got the strength in my right hand today after, you can't see that if I do it that way. Oh, sort out, Dean. Little pumpy thing there, so you press that down like so, and then that'll squirt juice out of there, which I think is actually quite good. It's a nice little way of carrying your e-juice, especially if you do things like make your own and you make it in large quantities. If you're not using something like a Gorilla, a chubby Gorilla bottle, then something like this is obviously a little bit more hard wearing and can be quite useful. So that was nice. But the most exciting things were a couple of mods with their new tank. Now this is the Coolfire Pebble. Now this is another one of these tiny little mods that we're starting to see now. Excuse me. Now power wise, let's have a little look here. Like I say, these have only come in today, so I'm not going up close and all that sort of stuff. There's no need. This little puppy goes to 50 watts. Which is quite a lot. I imagine the battery life isn't going to be spectacular at 50 watts. Now, the battery in here is a 1300 milliamp hour. So, yeah, I mean, if you're going to be maxing this out, you're not going to get a full day of vaping from it. But it's a nice little dinky little mod with a nice little screen. See that? And it's tiny. It's very much along the lines of the mini Volt. I would say that it's kind of maybe a hint bigger, but not very much bigger than the mini Volt. So yeah, dinky little thing, USB charging, all that sort of good stuff. And they've got their new Slipstream tank going on the top of this at the moment, which is interesting. This has got a 0.8 coil going on in there at the moment. Very restricted lung hit on the tank, but quite flavourful. Quite flavourful. I'll tell you about the juice that I've got in there at the end, because that's a bit exciting. I've got some new juice. But yeah, so that is a nice little puppy. I don't know how much either of these two mods that I'm showing you are going to be, but he's showing you. Now then, I do need to just pop a little bit more juice in this before I show you this one, because this is something that, once again, if you're on the social media side of things, then you would have seen this before. By the way, both of these tanks, much like the sort of the cuboid side of things and all that sort of stuff, you've got the coil attached to the underside of the top cap, which does make it a little bit awkward for refilling when you think, Dean, use words. Use words when you're trying to do everything. Anyway, right, here we go. Look. Fill that up to the little liney thing going on there. You have to hope that too much juice doesn't drip off your coil when you're filling it up. Screw that bad boy in. We have got kind of like a child-proof top cap on there as well, which, right, a little bit of juice come out of the top when I put it on there. But, right, let me show you. Let me show you this. This is the reason I'm going through all of this. I've got juice everywhere. How have I got juice everywhere? Stop it. It's this, look. Look. It's very white, isn't it? Now, this little puppy, this is the Chroma, and as I was saying, if you've been looking at the social media, then a lot of people were sharing pictures of the Chroma because it looked an interesting little piece of kit, and it is an interesting little shape. It's got this kind of little thing going on there, which you would ordinarily make it think that you're kind of firing there, but then you don't fire with your finger because that button is kind of in between your index finger and your middle finger, so that's a bit strange, but no, otherwise super light. But you do have this tank that goes in here, or if you don't want to use the tank, they do give you this little extension for a 510. And what this extension does, obviously, it means that you can take the tank off. Let's do it, shall we? Let's do it. Fuck it, we've got time. We've got time. Right. So that's with the tank off. And so you got that dirty great big hole there, right? So then the 510 goes in here. They give you a little screw for being able to tighten this thing down as well. So the 510 goes in. I've not tightened it all the way down. And then you put your normal dripper on top of that, if that's the sort of thing that floats your boat. So it's an interesting little puppy. Like I say, it's super, super light, and it's not very big either. It's quite dinky. And we seem to be getting a lot of these dinky ones at the moment, but this is a 75 watt affair, 2000 milliamp hour battery. I've still got juice everywhere on that top cap. I haven't tightened it all the way down. That'll be why. That'll be why. Let's have a little. Oh, the screen, by the way, is on the side there. It's asking me if it's the same coil. Same coil. Now, it's not very bright. I've got to. There we go. I've got to have a little look through the menu and see if I can brighten that up. But that does seem awfully dark. But we'll have a little play. Like I say, only came in today, so I've not had a chance to have a play with it yet. I got this one and a purple version of it. Mrs. Biker has, well, she's just decided to commandeer the purple one to help me with testing. So that's nice of her. So we'll see how the paintwork holds up to being thrown in and out of a massive and rather overstocked handbag on a daily basis, I imagine. So we'll give a go to that one, but I'm going to be testing the crap out of this. Like I say, this is a, I think this is just a lipo going on in here as well. And I think it looks quite nice. What do you think? What do you think about that? Eh? Let's have a vape, shall we? Quite cloudy, quite cloudy. I quite like it. That's only at 40 watts. And once again, that is the same coil as in the tank on the Pebble. So that's coming through at 0.8 also, or 0.81. But it's dinky, isn't it? Isn't that nice? Quite like it. What shall I compare it to? What shall I compare it to that you might know the size of? The Therian? Yeah, the size difference. Massive. By the way, my Therian is leaking like a monster. Haven't been able to take it apart yet to find out why. I'll report back on that one. Anyway, good times. So that is the Kroma. It's Kroma from Innokin, and it's a funky little thing. So that's going into the old review queue to give that a damn good thrashing as well. Right, let me just restart the camera and then we'll carry on. And we're restarted. Good. Excellent. Right. Good. Cheers to you. So, now then, those are the things that are in. I don't think I've had anything else new in other than juice, which I'll talk about in a little while. Now then, I've got something to ask you guys, right? You know, occasionally I sort of try and have a bit of a conversation piece, so we can start a conversation between you guys and for me and what have you in the comments section down below. And I'd really like your input on this one. Excuse me. I get emails a lot saying, will you review this? We will pay you to review it. We'll pay you to sort of bump it up the review queue, or we will give you an affiliate link so you can then you post that link down below, and then everyone that's sold, you know, you get something from it. And I always say no. And when I get those, I generally say not only am I not interested in that, but I'm not going to review the product. And that's because what I don't want, what I get really kind of stressed about, and this is no kind of this is not a drama causing thing or anything to kind of have a go at any other reviewers at all. It's purely because it makes me feel funny, okay? Because even if I don't take anything, if another reviewer then starts, you know, with the affiliate links and all that sort of stuff, then people would quite naturally assume that my review would have a similar kind of thing going on. And that kind of makes me feel uncomfortable, because while I you know, I mean, I'd quite happily take a sponsorship for beard oil, because, you know, why the fuck not? Or you know, whatever else that's not vape related, because it has no bearing, no impact. It couldn't be seen in any way to have any kind of influence over my review of that product. Now, sure, the companies will send the product in to review, but that in no way, as you've seen over the last however long I've been doing this channel, make sure that you get a decent review. That doesn't happen. So you always get an honest review. Okay. Now, when people let me tell you. Let me tell you, I'm not going to tell you the company name, because, like I say, I'm not doing this to kind of stir anything up or get anyone excited. It's just because I want your opinion on it. It really, really is. So, Dean, this is from a company that I got this morning, and it's, you know, it's fairly indicative of a lot that I get. I've got to try really hard not to say the name of the company. Basically, they've got a new product, and they attached a picture, and the product actually looked really cool. It looked like something I would totally be up for reviewing. I was really happy about it. However, the company will activate a special coupon code only valid for product name. We encourage you to use it on your review description and social media. The current price of this product is X, however your audience will get it for a cheaper price of such and such, which is nice. It's nice that you guys would get a cheaper product. However, point 2 is where it goes wrong. You will get $5 US commission for every single product kit sold. We will let you know how your code is performing regularly, and your commission will be paid 30 days after the shipment of the product. If you want to get this exclusive deal for your channel, you just have to make a video review and share your exclusive code in a visible place. The more you promote the code, the better the chance you get a better commission. For example, you might want to share the code on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and your blogs, always including the link and code to gain more exposure and orders. We would love to sponsor a giveaway to gain even more exposure, and we're also open to hear your ideas to promote it. and the code will be valid till 20 days after you release your first video. Why should you join this project? This is a win-win situation for you and your audience. The lowest price on the market for the product, fast delivery. It's estimated we ship out the product to our customers in such and such a date. Now, also here, product supply priority. The company will give us priority when sending the product kits. We guarantee shipping these orders first. Now, that just, for me personally, that doesn't sit right for me. It really doesn't. While you guys can get a better deal on the product, which I think is great, and I'm all for that. So I'm all for having sort of a code that you guys can use to get money off. That's fine. But what really kind of rubs me the wrong way is the idea of a commission, which works in the same way as affiliate links or anything like that, because then I become a salesman for that product. And if I'm a salesman for that product and I'm gaining from it, then you know, that's not an impartial review, is it? Now, I could say that, do you know what? I am going to remain completely impartial, and this is how I feel about it. I review the product, whether it be good or bad. But if I do give it a good review, how are you going to, if this all comes out about which product it is, amongst the others, like I say, how are you going to be able to look back on my reviews and go, yeah, okay, I believe him, that was absolutely right? You know, does that make sense? But it's weird for me. So it means that I probably turned down maybe 2 or 3 products a week for that exact reason, which is a little bit of a shame, because sometimes the products look kind of cool, like in this case. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on here. Like I said, I mean, I would have no problem with beard oil or I don't know, t-shirts even. I'm not reviewing t-shirts. Or Canon. There you go. I use a Canon camera, so Canon, crack on if you want to sponsor it. Away you go. Because none of that has any relevance to what I'm telling you guys. You know, you're here to look at vaping products and my opinion on those products. So the idea of being able to have it even perceived as being influenced kind of upsets me a little bit. So please do let me know your comments in the comments section down below. I'd really like to hear your thoughts on that one, because I think it's very, very interesting. And like I say, I just really want to underline that I am not saying anything negative on anybody else. I totally get it. As a reviewer, we spend a lot of money, and we really, really do. I mean, I've got my iMac here that came out of my money. I've got the camera that came out of my money. I've got all the lighting that came out of my money. And that's before, hold on, excuse me. And that's before we have to worry about getting things like stupid things like boom arms, microphones, you know, all of the coiling wire and all that sort of stuff, because, you know, it all adds up. It really, really does. So it's obvious that people can kind of get the idea of saying, well, why not? As long as you're going to be unbiased about it, why not take the money and run? But a friend of mine said I'm cutting my nose off to spite my face, but I really don't think I am. As I said, let me know your comments. Let me know what you think, because it's not something that I'm going to be doing personally, but you know, I'm always interested to hear, or at least start a conversation, and let's keep it rational. As always, you guys are always fantastic on your comments. I very rarely get anyone be an absolute knob in the comments section, so thank you very much for that. And if we can carry on that with this kind of discussion, that would be brilliant. So thank you very much. I'll report back on the next vlog. Now then, what else have we got? What else have we got? So coming up in the coming days, as I said, we've got this little bad boy, this Mirage mech. That's definitely happening. Oh, we've got the Rashomon. That's happening. We've got the Chieftain from Wotofo. That's happening. And I might have, I don't know what else is it. I've got a bunch in the queue, but I don't know what is really... I might do... I've said for a while that I wanted to do the MyJet kit, because it really is a brilliant kit, but I didn't want to do it until it was widely available to you guys. Now, this doesn't appear to be stopping sort of other stuff going out, because they're available in the States, and I know about 30% of you guys that watch are over in the States. So I may get that out purely because I think it's fantastic, not only for people that want a very cigarette-like draw, for people that want to sort of directly replace cigarettes, and for people that just want a little stealth vape going on in their pocket throughout the day as well. So, you know, that I think is going to be coming out. Now, we've also got, we've had a bunch of starter kits coming on. This one, I don't know if I can show you. So I need to check on that one. I don't know if I can show you that one. But this one is the one from Jaywell with a little pulley outy kind of jobby going on the top there. That needs to be having a look at. This is the Series 17 or S17 from Jaywell. No, not from Jaywell, from Jack Vapor. So that one needs to be given a look at as well. So with these three, and the secret one there, plus the MyJet, we've got a few for the starters, or for those of you that don't want to carry a great big mod around with you the whole time. So I think I might do, don't know if I'm going to do an individual one for each one of those, or sort of lump them in the same kind of, in the same as your father, in the same review. I might do that, I'm not entirely sure. But I do want to sort of keep encouraging stuff to come onto the channel, which is quality, but for new vapors as well. So we'll give that a go. But yeah, not much going on there. Now then, what isn't going to be in the list quite yet is this Kree Z, which quite a few people have had the reviews up on this one already. And it's a thing, it's happening. Was that loud on the microphone? I do apologise. There's quite a few of these up. There's a lot of people already liking them. Some people not liking them quite so much. Personally, I didn't like it. And the reason I didn't like it was because there was zero flavour coming out of it. Too much airflow to get that going on. And got dry hits a lot. Now, because of that, I've been in touch with the people that make the Kree and said what's going on. And they are actually, they've brought out some new coil heads which have got much less cotton in them, which allegedly are going to be, you know, vastly change the experience. They're going to be sending me out some more of those so I can stick those in here and give that a damn good try. They're also going to be sending me out the Kree Z Mini, which apparently is about the size of a Zippo. So once I get those, I'll give those a good review. But I haven't forgotten about this because, I mean, the form factor on this, if you're someone that wears a jacket and you've got inside pockets, this is perfect size for that. But and it holds a butt ton of juice as well. But yeah, it just has, it's been a rubbish performer in my opinion up till now. So we'll see how that goes on. Hey, look at this. I saw this yesterday when I was doing bits and bobs. Any old school vapors remember them? Look at those puppies from E-Fest. They are old. I think these batteries are like a couple of years old. I doubt this has even got any charge in it, but old school. Now then, I said about juice, didn't I? Juice wise, obviously I've been vaping the crap out of the Suburban from Daily, and I still maintain that this is without a doubt the best mint choc chip I have ever had in a vape. It is absolutely stunning and I love it a lot. I actually got that going on in the Hadaly on top of the old NX at the moment, and it really is something that you'll want to put it on your ice cream. You just absolutely bloody glorious. It really is. I love it. I love it. I do also need a little bit of a drink. Right, cheers. So yeah, that's been spectacular. Now the other thing is, I bought some juices. I did. And I bought those from Evolution Vaping in the UK. They've got just a crap ton of juice selection going on in there. Just loads of different manufacturers. So I was looking for a juice for Mrs. Vaping Biker, who likes she really likes cherry. A friend of ours, Minty Mate, made her some cherry a little while ago, and she just fell madly in love with it. And so she's been looking for another good quality cherry vape. And Anon, who used the anonymous mask. I'm not too happy about them using the anonymous mask, but they do a cherry flavour, so I bought some of that so she could try that. That's how much of a lovely husband I am. But at the same time, it was also a little bit of an excuse for me to get some juice for myself. Now, I've got these two. These are from Rapture. And this one is called Satisfaction, and this one is called Paradise. Now, the Satisfaction, which is this one, is lemon ice cream wafer cone, and the Paradise is kiwi strawberries and a sort of a cooling kind of mentholy kind of cool hit as well. Now, I've got to say, the lemon one is bloody lovely. I am really, really enjoying it. I stuck it in this little tank just to give it a little going over. But it's really nice. It's really fresh. It's kind of, I can't even remember what the full description of it was. It's but that lemon is really nice and kind of not quite palate cleansing because you've got the cone in there as well. But it's nice. I like it. It reminded me a little bit, and bearing in mind, let's all be aware of how shit Dean's taste buds are, but it reminded me a little bit of the normal view from the Grimm signature line, although this is a little bit more lemony. This one's got a little bit more body to it, if you like. But no, and this, I love this. This is fantastic. But this stuff is rather glorious. I'm looking forward to getting into a dripper and seeing how that flavour really kind of explodes as opposed to having it being in a tank. So yeah, that's going to be happening. But no, just a little one to look out for. I don't know how clean they are on your coils, but yeah, definitely worth. Oh, touched the microphone. Apologies if that made a noise. They're the ones to look out for. Like I said, Evolution Vaping in the UK are selling these, and I think they're actually a really good price as well. So let's have a little look, shall we? Let's have a look. Da-dum-ba, didn't have it ready. Right, either Rapture. Let's just search Rapture. Rapture, here we go. Which one did I say was nice? The Satisfaction. I quite like the strawberry one as well, by the way, but that's taking a little bit more to get used to. Okay, totally forgot that was running out again. So what I was looking at was Satisfaction. 70ml for $19.99. 70ml for $19.99. That's not too bad, is it? Is it? No, that's not bad at all. Seeing as there's a lot of juices going around at the moment that are like 30ml for about 17, 18 quid. 20 quid for that. That's not bad at all. Good work. Good work, Evolution Vaping. So yeah, I'm going to put all the links for everything else down below, as I generally try and do. I'm getting quite good with that now. My descriptions are huge. But yeah, there's a lot of that going on. So yeah, there's that. Now then, let's have a little look here at what I've been watching on YouTube. History, come on, crap. There's a chap called Mr. Smith who had the sharpest knife in the world. He lines up like 8 big old 2-litre Evian bottles and has a knife and just slices through them. Bonkers. Casey, watch Casey Neistat. Vaping Vic, Vaping V1CK, watched his vlog. Matt Cully from Suck My Mod, watch his review of the home slice. Also, he's got a new tank out that he's done with Jabo over at Wismec again, so that's definitely worth checking out. And also a big happy birthday to Matt. Today is I think it's his 50th birthday today, so well done for Matt for getting to that ripe old age. Congratulations. I tell you, now then, I have just kind of got into a new channel and I've smashed all of his videos. I've gone through every single one of them. Not the sort of thing I would ordinarily go for, but I love watching people losing their biscuit, just ranting about stuff and going off on one. That's brilliant for me, especially if it's done in a sort of satirical kind of way. The Green Wing. Did any of you watch a Green Wing with Dr. Statham? I've been watching that again recently on TV. That's just spectacular. Oh, Spit that. Spectacular. I love that program so much. But anyway, yes, going back to YouTube, where was it? What was the channel? Jonathan Pye. Jonathan Pye. Now he's a comedian, and he's got this kind of character going on as a newsreader, and it's the outtakes that he does when he's speaking to his producer Tim, when he's on location and all that sort of stuff, and it's just absolutely spectacular. He totally called Trump months ago, by the way, and said that was happening, which was bonkers. But no, definitely go and check him out if you like that kind of thing, because like I say, I've watched every single one of his videos and I think they're spectacular. He really needs to make more. What else? I just came off my history thing. What else have we gone through? Anything exciting? Is there anything really worth telling you guys about? I watched a couple of my own videos because I'm a little bit like that. Unbox Therapy, watched a couple of those. Can't afford anything, so don't really know why I watched them. These are all of the Jonathan Pyes. Watched the OATI from Damien from A Bloody Good Vaping. That looks cool. Mr. Todd did. What did Mr. Todd do? I watched it this morning. The Shift Bottom Feeder by Boost Lab. Tiny little deck. I'm fairly confident I'd have a nightmare of a time building on that one. I also doubt that I could afford to buy it, to be honest with you. But there you go. DJLSB, he had a look at the big iJoy RDTA, that thing that's put together with Twisted and iJoy, with the kind of integral tank going on. That's I think I got asked if I wanted to review it, and I said no to that one. Just there's everybody, literally everybody's going to review that, so it will be everywhere. More Jonathan Pye. I really did watch a lot. Grim, watched his vlog. I quite like. I know a lot of you guys don't like the super long vlogs, and someone mentioned that they refuse to watch anything longer than half an hour. Recently on one of my videos, and you know, fair play, that's cool. For me personally, I mean, it's like with some of the Phil Basado stuff, I'll get halfway through it and then I'll stop it, go make a cup of tea, have a life, come back and then watch the other half. It's like the intermission in a film. Remember those days? But yeah, okay, let's not bore you anymore. I don't think there's Philip DeFranco. There we go. Been watching him as well, obviously. Watched a video on a kid in India, I think it is, who's kind of had some kind of birth defect or has got some kind of condition that gives him a really big head and really pointy eyebrows, and loads of people are starting to worship him as a god, which is a bit weird. Other countries, eh? Dizzy, hello. What do you want? What do you want, sweetheart? Eh? Anyway, right. I don't think there is anything else I can tell you about, guys. I emailed the MHRA today because we've got November 19th coming across, very significant time in Article 20 of the TPD. So if you don't know anything about that, what I'll do is I will put a link to the MHRA website down below so you can have a good old read of that. But this is where things get interesting now, because this is where it all starts getting put into place in the UK, and actually kind of, you know, whether products and everything else is registered properly and all that sort of good gear. So I've contacted them basically looking for clarification, because it's still so woolly, it's ridiculous, and I doubt I'm going to get anything useful, but if I do, I will relay it to you as much as always. Otherwise, Jack Vapor are now also starting to sell the little Arami Geel tank, this little puppy, which I think I mentioned to you guys before. In fact, I know I mentioned to you guys before. This has the coil that goes all the way up the inside of it. No resistance bit at the bottom, but it looks like it's just a massive, great big spring. No resistance at the bottom, resistance at the top, which I bought because it was cheap. It was like 15 quid, which is crazy cheap for a tank, and it's not a bad tank, but it was losing quite a chunk of flavour and has non-adjustable airflow. So yeah, that was an interesting little thing here. thank you very much for those of you that have commented on the website for the article I wrote about the squonker. I do very much appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. Oh, the vape mats and all that sort of stuff. Remember I did the video about all these little vape mats and all that sort of stuff? So what we've got, thank you very much to everybody that's gone out and bought them over in America. Hope you do like them. Like I say, once again, I'm not making anything from them, so it's just something to kind of give back to you guys. Now then, for those of you that wanted to buy them in the UK, they've actually shipped me some over, which hopefully should be with me in the next day or two. They're in London this morning, so it'll depend on how long they take to clear customs, and we all know that can take an age. Once they come in, then you'll still be buying them from the vapemats.com website, but it will give you the chance of being able to not spend $30 odd on shipping to the UK, and I'll be able to ship them directly from here for you guys. So that means everybody gets to buy one if they really want one. If you want one of my cool little designs on a vape build mat or rag, these are super useful. I did have somebody complain. I had somebody complain, and I get people that complain. I understand, okay? I'm not having a go about people that complain. However, apparently they bought one of these and they said that the eyelet was bent and it was really thin. Well, first of all, they're designed to be thin because they're vape rags. You sort of you soak up juice or, you know, clean fingerprints off things, and away you go. That's kind of what they're there for. It's not a towel. And as for the bent eyelet, my comment on the chap's complaint was, have you contacted Vape Mats when you got it and to tell them about it, because they don't come through me, and there was no reply. So, you know, as with anything, and it doesn't just go with my gear, it goes with absolutely everybody's gear. You know, if you buy a product and it's not as you expect it when it arrives, let the people know you bought it from. Simples. It's got to keep things nice and easy, and you'd think it would be fairly logical for that to happen, but apparently it isn't. I bought some Squonker bottles from Cheeky Vape Co. Just because they had them available. I've never used Cheeky Vape Co before, so I thought we'd give them a little go. What else? I don't really think there's anything else. Okay, so should we do a couple of shout outs? Let's do a couple of shout outs. Let's have a little look here. Remember I was saying about the coils? Someone asked me about the coils ramping up. That was Circo Avakian. I'm sure I've butchered that name and I apologise for that, but Greensmate, I've been enjoying your videos a lot and well done for the reviews. Have helped me out a lot. I would like to ask you a quick question because you seem experienced in mechs. I've used a couple. How can you ramp up your coils in mech mods like that fast? For example, in the Rig V3 video with those Clapton coils, it takes forever to heat my Alien Fuse coils, even parallel. Well, mainly, like I said early on, it's all about the size and the type of wire you use. When it comes to ramp up time with Aliens or Claptons, if I use those in a mech, I make sure that I use 26 gauge N80 or even stainless steel. And for the Clapton that goes around the outside, I make sure that I use something super thin as well, even though that doesn't really carry any current. I use something like a 36 or 40 gauge on the outside of that. So yeah, it's all about the type of wire you use, and obviously make them too huge, too much metal. If you make them with 22 gauge or something like that, they're going to take a little bit longer to heat up. That's just things. So hope that helps a little bit, Circo, on that one. Now then, what are we on? Still on decent time at the moment. From Benjamin. Hi Dean, I'm a vapor for only 3 months now and went from 0 to 100% in a very short time, building coils, maxing, dripping and box full of mods, RTAs and RDAs and mods. It was a fun ride. It was a fun ride so far. I imagine it is a fun ride so far. And I want to thank you for being a big part of my journey. You are welcome, Benjamin. Thank you very much for watching. Your videos have been a companion during all the hours of preventing my first damn UD Bellis RTA from leaking. Keep up the good work, and I appreciate what your work. Sorry for my bad English, but I am no native speaker. I am German, and I learned English mainly by drinking with Irish guys in a pub. Now, that is spectacular. So, big shout out to you, Benjamin. Thank you very much for getting in contact, my friend. And I'm pleased that I could be some help to you. So thank you very much for that email. So next one up is from Paul. Hi bud, love your vids. Your Halloween vlog tickled me. Even my 3-year-old daughter Macy asked why Santa was making me laugh. It's the beard. So because I've got a beard, everyone's a winner. Keep up the great work, mate. Looking forward to see what you think of the Asmodeus V2 review. That's now up now, so you'd have seen that by now. Got one myself, rocking it with a Pharaoh. Some nice cookie and vanilla ice cream. Yum. Keep up the top reviews, bud, from Paul in the West Midlands. So Paul in the West Midlands, have a shout out yourself, my friend. Thank you very much for getting in contact. There's always people that are emailing me, but there's just a couple that I've taken out of my I'm starting to take shout outs out of my inbox now and putting them in a shout out file. Hey! So yeah, and I do appreciate everybody who watches. We're nearly cracking on 25,000 now, which is bonkers, and just, you know, for 2 years into the channel, I think that's absolutely brilliant. It wouldn't work without you guys, and that's why you guys kind of keep pushing me forward to try and make me be better at what I do, make it look better, and hopefully give you a good variety of products. I do try and search out products that not everybody reviews, so I've got something a little bit different for you guys to check out. Obviously there's going to be stuff that everybody else does as well, and that's cool. It means that you should go out and check out other people's reviews on products, because if you just listen to me, you're mental. Now then, like we said before, we have got a couple of the more kind of pricier atomizers coming out, so you know, don't have a heart attack when I tell you about the Hadaly costing 75 quid or whatever. That will be there, because at the same time we're also going to be rocking kits from Innokin and such like as well. So we're still looking at a broad range. We're not going proper high end, we're just going on a couple of nice bits here and there, which I think we all like, don't we? Good. I'm quite surprised about this. This little tank, what they call it, Slipstream, is actually quite flavoury. And at 40 watts, I'm starting to get that starting to get a little bit of a warm vape, which is rather nice. It's not the quietest in the world, but especially for one of these coils where the air goes in the top, down, and then up through, it's not bad at all. Nice clicky button. Does feel a little bit cheap because it's little, but what I'm interested to see about is because this kind of knurled thing going on here, in my experience, a lot of this kind of knurling will wear off over time. So I am going to use this a lot and really get to grips with it. And I do really want to make that screen tight. They do a green one. I'm gutted they didn't send me the green one because it looks cool. But no, this is very cool as well. So thank you very much, Innokin. And I'm looking forward to, I've hurt my shoulder, it really hurts. I'm looking forward to testing out both that and the little pebble here. So that's about it. Has this been long? Has this been kind of an hour? I think it might have been. Anyway, sorry for that. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Dean the Vaping Biker. This has been a whole bunch of funky stuff to check out. I'm going to leave you on a cloud from a mech mod because that's the kind of mood I'm in today. Have it very large. Very, very large.